Hi everyone, this video is about identifying basic file properties in the File Explorer window. Now, you should be in the Details view, and we will look at views later, but if you go to the View tab, you should be in Details view by default. Because I'm going to be focusing on the content pane, I could even like close up my navigation pane a bit so I can concentrate on this. And I want to show you that you'll note each of these files is organized in alphabetical order here by default, and it's by name. So because this starts with a symbol, it's up at the top. So symbols are alphabetized first, then numbers, and then it will go in order alphabetically B, C, D, E, F, G, etc. What you can do is reverse the order by clicking on one of these types of categories. So you can go ahead and click on that, and you can see now it's in reverse alphabetical order. I can go ahead and click on that again to toggle it back to alphabetical order. You'll notice here that it has the last date modified. You can also sort by date, and this is very useful because you can go ahead and figure out which was the latest one or the oldest one modified. And you can even toggle it back to organized by name. You'll notice here that each file also has a file type. You can sort by file type. If you want to read the full file type, you can expand this area here. You can see that each file has a different icon next to it. So Word documents have a little W next to them, and Excel files have a little green X. You'll see image files have, for example, here I have a little mountain and sun picture. Your computer may have a little bit of a different view of those icons, and that's okay. Every computer has a little bit of a different view. And it depends also on which version of the software you're using. You may see a PDF that has this nice little red swish icon for the Adobe icon. And you'll also notice that some of the Microsoft files, if they're an older version, you can see, for example, this one, the icon will have a white outline with a dark colored letter to match it rather than the inverse that you see for the newer ones, and you'll see that for Excel and for Word, etc. You'll also see the types written out here. So you'll see Microsoft Word document, or because you can see this is an older version, it says Microsoft Word 97 to 2003. You'll see different image files, JPEG. If I scroll down here, I can see I have also an image file, but it's a PNG. So I can sort by that as well. I can go ahead and sort by file type. So I can have all my PDFs at the top or all my Word documents at the bottom, etc. I can also sort and filter by size. You can see that it shows the amount of memory that my files take up. This can be very useful if you're wondering, wow, what's taking up all this space in my folders? You can go ahead and toggle by making it smallest to largest and largest to smallest. I often do this in my email account. If I'm looking for some new storage space, I'll toggle and find out, ooh, what's taking up the most space, and see if I can delete that if I don't need it anymore. So again, you can use these categories to sort and resort. You can also filter, although I want to warn you to be careful around this because sometimes people forget that they've added a filter onto their File Explorer window. So here, for example, I can click and I could only see A to H. Da-da! Or I could only see the ones with numbers, or the numbers and Q through Z. So I can go ahead and add sorts on there. Just be careful because oftentimes, for example, I will have a sort on here, and the only way to know that I have a sort is that I got that cute little check mark. So be careful. Sometimes people freak out. And oh, you will also see it in the file path, I should add. So it will go ahead and add that to your file path. But sometimes people freak out and think that all their files are gone when a filter has been added. So I'll go ahead and remove that. This can be useful though in a workspace or in your home if you need to go ahead and find particular files by date. Very useful to be able to sort and filter if you have to work on a specific date profile or a specific size profile. So that was identifying the different file properties. You have your icons, your file names, your file types, the date and time that it was last modified, and the file size. Last but definitely not least, I did want to mention that each file has a file extension. So if your file extensions are not showing, that's okay. It's not a problem. You can actually activate this by clicking on View and clicking to Show File Extensions, File Name Extensions. And you'll see those appear or disappear by checking those off. And you'll see that older documents, Word documents will have DOC, whereas newer ones will have DOCX. You'll see image files, JPEG or PNG. You'll see Excel files. Let's see if I can find one on here. XLSX will be the file extension. So that's another way to be able to recognize what type of file you're working with. And that was sorting, filtering, and recognizing different types of files and file properties in the File Explorer window.